The Sports Junkies podcast is presented by PenFed Credit Union. PenFed's got great rates for those in uniform and those who are not. Apply today at PenFed.org. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed, insured by NCUA.
Innovation, resilience, agility. It's how Michigan businesses work together and continue to build the future. Our expertise, talented workforce, and collaborative environment are making a difference now and shaping the future. Join us and make your mark where it matters. Visit michiganbusiness.org/radio to put your plans in motion. That's michiganbusiness.org/radio.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Junkies back with you on 106.7 The Fan. We are live on NBC Sports Washington. Brought to you, as always, by our friends at Crop Metcalf. They are the official heating and cooling company of the Junkies. Looking to be their next five-star HVAC technician or plumber? Just visit cropmetcalf.com to join their team. We thank you for tuning in this Monday morning, March 29th, 2021. I'm John Paul Flame, joined by Johnny Cakes Allville.
What's up, Rickies? Good morning.
Hello. And Jason Bishop.
Yo, what's going on?
Oh, lots going on for me. I'm in the side studio because I had to take a COVID test yesterday because I had contact with somebody who had COVID. The rapid test, I was negative, but just out of an abundance of precaution, I'm here in the side studio where nobody else does the show from. So we're here.
They've got you full-on sequestered today.
I'm sequestered.
I do recognize that. Yeah, I recognize that studio. Like, didn't we start the COVID process in that studio when we were doing 2 and 2?
I think you're right. Going back to last March.
Or maybe it was just me. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, but we were scrambling here. If you're watching on NBC Sports Washington, scrambling because my headphones didn't fit into the adapter on the other side. It only has, like, the bigger hole, and I used the earbuds, and there was no adapter, so we pulled it off.
When do you expect to get the results back for the COVID test?
So apparently the PCR test takes 2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days. All right.
But they told me that the rapid test was 90 to 95% accurate. So
yeah, you're probably fine.
Should be okay.
Drabby, Valdez, what's up, boys?
They get their star return because EB is not here today.
What's up? More camera time.
Yes.
What's going on?
Good weekend for Drab, Survivor Pool champion.
Oh, you see the Ultimate Survivor. Props.
A bunch of groupthink by the other guys.
Good for you.
What did you? Who did you pick? Michigan, right?
Michigan, yeah.
That's right. And everyone else picked Bama.
Let me just pump the brakes on that. I was not a victim of groupthink. I just made a bad pick. I don't know if it's a bad pick. I took the favorite, Loyola. They got beat by Drab's boys from Oregon State, who apparently just never lose anymore. They just never lose.
Nobody in the Pac-12 loses.
I'm never doing a Survivor Pool again. Just don't
ask
me.
Valdez, when you never do yours, remind me never to do mine, too. We will stand in solidarity and never do Survivor Pools again.
So I have to give you $10.
I got to ship 10 to him, yep.
$10 to Drabby.
I'll take $10 from whoever wants to give it to me at Drab T-shirt on Venmo.
I already shipped it. It's already en route.
Well, I don't want to give it to you, but I know I have to, so I will.
And plus, the Zags were dominant, so, yeah, Drabby's got to be super happy.
Well, I'm excited that they play on Tuesday night, which I hate, but they don't play at the 9:50 game. They play at 7:15.
Right. Yes. Because tonight there's a game at 7:15 and 9:57. I will not be watching the 9:57 game. I can promise you that.
Hey, before we get into the tournament or anything, because there's a lot to do on the show today, Peter Laviolette's going to join us at 8 o'clock. He joins us every Monday at 8 o'clock, and they are on an absolute heater, and we'll get into that.
Yep.
And we've got Tim Doyle, who covers the NBA and the NCAA tournament. He'll join us at 9:20. Before we get into any of that, can I just rant? I'm staying at my mom's house, and she's being very hospitable by allowing us to stay there. Otherwise, our house is not ready. Otherwise, I'd be paying for a hotel or something. And I probably shouldn't complain. Ask me how hot the thermostat was when I finally noticed it and checked on Saturday night.
How hot was it?
It must have been in the 80s.
77.
Oh, man, that is brutal.
It was on heat, 77, and it was a beautiful day on Saturday, right?
It was perfect.
So, yeah.
It was perfect.
77.
Yeah.
It was a sauna. I understand she grew up in Puerto Rico. She likes the heat, but that is unacceptable.
It was TJ Oshie in her house.
Cakes, could you live in 77?
So you were
Absolutely
sweating.
not.
You must have been sweating when you were laying in the bed.
It was bad. And then she complained in the morning because I dropped the thermostat. First of all, I made the necessary step of changing it from heat to cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I dropped it to 68, which I think is an appropriate temperature.
Yeah,
and
77.
the next morning, she complained that it was too cold.
77 is bordering on, like, inhumane conditions.
Oh,
in
like a
my opinion. I mean, it's great when you walk outside if it's 77 degrees. It's amazing.
I had mine down to 61.
oh my goodness.
Well, there's no point in having it. I should have just turned it off. I mean, there's no reason to have it on because it was perfect. So it was perfect
on
inside.
61. Got you.
Yes, I turned the heater down to 61, so it never kicked in. And then I think my temperature was probably 68. It was probably 68, 69 in the house.
I feel like the Bishop household often has open windows. Is that accurate?
Zippy open windows.
You don't do open
Well, no,
windows.
that's not true. I open up the French doors off the kitchen.
Okay,
So yes,
you have
we do.
open air coming
Yeah,
in.
we do have open air. Yes,
Gotcha.
if it's really nice outside, I absolutely will open those up.
Yeah. But you couldn't live with 77.
No.
No, I would have left the house. Of
course not.
I would have left. I would have gone to a hotel. Yeah. It would have been worth, spending $80 a night at a cheap hotel.
$80 a night. You are staying basically
Yeah,
a flea bagger.
Yeah.
I mean, where are you going to find an $80 hotel
If you
room?
if you just need a bed, I would spend that.
Maybe that's what Bickle's doing because he's on the road all the time for his kids' sports.
Mm-hmm.
I would feel like I'm checking in someplace where I'm going to get like just a case of the bed bugs if I'm paying $75 or $80. Like I feel like I have to pay triple digits for it to be at least a decent looking hotel room.
Right. All right, $100 a night. Go to hotels.com, get yourself a $100 a night room. That's all you need. That's all you need is one bed for one night. If you spend $200 on just so when you need a bed, you're an idiot.
Well, anyway, so we've got Peter Laviolette on the show, and the Capitals are on an absolute heater, as is Alexander Ovechkin. A few weeks ago, I wondered, why isn't the guy scoring? What's going on?
He scores every day.
Immediately after that, he's just on a super tear. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
you jinxed him in a positive way.
yeah, you reverse jinxed him.
That's all he does is score. He scores every. I think he scored in. I want to say he scored in 9 of the last 10 games. Something like that. Something crazy.
And they've won like 14 out of 16.
They're on fire, and they've got 50 points, and they lead the division by 2. They've won 3 straight, 9 of 10, and 14 of 16. Correct.
They feel like a championship team. And I understand they're not playing the teams in the other divisions or the other conference. But right now, man, it's hard to fathom a team that would beat them in a best-of-7 series.
All they do is play overs every single game. And they could have a 4-0 lead, a 5-0 lead. They always seem to win by 1 goal.
I mean, yesterday was a 7-goal third period. 7.
Isn't that crazy?
That hooked you over. That third period,
But
that was your golden ticket.
I have to go through and look to see how many 1-goal wins they've had, but they've had a bunch. They've had a bunch of 1-goal wins out of the 23 I think they got. It's incredible. 7 goals in the third period.
Yeah, of their last 6 games, they've won 3-1, 2-1, lost 3-1 to the Rangers. Then their last 3, 4-3 win over the Devils. Then they blanked the Devils 4-zippy. And then 5-4 yesterday against the Rangers.
Right. They just give Coach Lava a heart attack in the third period.
They pretty much do.
But they've won 10 out of 11.
I know.
10 out of 11.
They're on fire. But like you said, it's kind of tough to compare them to the rest of the – I mean, you can obviously compare them to the East because they play those teams 8 times each, but we have no idea how much better or worse they are than the Lightning or the Maple Leafs or Carolina, any of those teams.
I think that's going to make the playoffs a lot more exciting this year because they haven't played any of those teams.
They haven't played them.
You never see them.
I know. It's going to be incredible. See, they've played 34 games, so there's only – let me do the math, fuzzy math.
21 left.
There's 21?
Believe it's 21.
All right.
Unless I miscounted.
I thought 22, but maybe I'm wrong.
Could be right. That doesn't. 55 games does not sound right. I believe it's
56.
Yes, there's 22.
22
Shocker,
games
I'm bad
left.
at math.
Oh, by the way, Ovi in the month of January, he only played 5 games, 2 goals. February, 12 games, 5 goals. March, 13 games, 11 goals.
On fire.
Yeah, and I think it coincides exactly when JP was like, why doesn't Ovi score? Why isn't Ovi scoring more? I think it goes back to these guys just getting their legs back coming off that COVID list. Like that, being on that list and not being able to practice, not being on the ice, getting away from the game for however long they were off the ice definitely hurt them. And, it took some time to ramp back up. But you're starting to see it. You're seeing what Ovi's doing.
Well, remember, I think Ovi was 57th or 58th in goals scored when JP started to hammer him.
Right.
Now he's tied for 5th in the league in goals.
Yeah.
To say I hammered him is a mischaracterization. Cakes is accurate. I question why he wasn't scoring. I did not hammer him and say – I never said this guy's done. I was just curious.
Well,
are we not supposed to be curious? There's a stark difference between February and March for Alexander Ovechkin.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to the audio, but it sounded like you were calling your shot, as in Ovi was Dunsky. I think you were basically inferring that he was showing his age and he was slowing down for a reason. And now he is 6th in the league, tied for 5th in goals and 6th in the league in shots on goal.
A few weeks ago, I was like, is he going to catch Marcel Dion to be top 5 in goals scored in NHL history? Because it looked like a big number considering the slump that he was in. He's catching him because he's at 724 and Dion sits there at number 5 at 731. I mean, unless he just goes ice cold, he's going to catch him in 22 games. He's going to pot at least 7 more goals in 22 games.
But you're right. If you look at the standings, yes, you can project what they're going to do against the teams in their division. But if you just look at Tampa's the defending champions, right?
I believe you are correct.
I looked at goal differential. So the Caps on the season, I think, are plus 20. Tampa's like double that. Does that mean they're annihilating opponents?
Well, in some cases, yes. I mean, beating Jersey 4-0, beating Buffalo 6-0. You know what? Thank God that Buffalo is in their division.
Yeah,
Buffalo
helps.
and the Devils. Because do you know how many games the Buffalo Sabres have lost in a row?
Ooh, let me guess. I think at one point, wasn't it like 13 or 14? So I'm going to guess it's like 18 in a row.
I think you're right. I think it might not be 18.
17.
17 straight losses. In hockey, you never see that.
That is brutal.
But thank God for the Devils and Sabres being in their division. I'd like to know what their total record against those two teams is. I think they're undefeated against them. I know they're undefeated against the Devils. I think they're 5-0 against the Devils, and maybe they're 4-0-1 or 4-1 against the Sabres.
Yeah,
Just
it's
killing
pretty
those
funny
two teams.
when you look at the streak column for the Mass Mutual East. No team has won or lost more than 3 games in a row, aside from the Sabres, who have an L17 in that column.
Yeah.
Man, that is embarrassing.
Well, and in hockey, that's hard to do. It's hard to lose 17 straight games in hockey.
Right.
So
the Pagulas, I think it's the Pagulas that own the Sabres. They also own the Bills. Ooh, they can't be happy.
This is an interesting question I'm going to ask Coach Lobb when we had him on. All right, so they have off tonight. Then they play the Rangers tomorrow night. The Rangers or Islanders tomorrow?
At the Rangers.
Okay, so at the Rangers. Then they play the Islanders on April 1st, the Devils the next night, the Devils again on Sunday the 4th, and then the Islanders on the 6th. They probably are going to stay up there from today through April 6th or 7th. I doubt they're going to keep coming back.
I would imagine.
5 straight games in the Jersey, New York area.
Right, in that corridor.
I can't imagine they're going to come back.
I wouldn't think so. I think you're looking to minimize travel at every turn at this point.
Man, that's going to suck. Imagine being up there for 6 or 7 straight days. I would hate it.
All right, got to take a break. A lot to do on the show, including talking to the Caps coach Peter Laviolette at 8 o'clock, Tim Doyle on the NCAA tournament at 9:25. If you want to chime in on the Gambit DC listener lines. Bet, play, win with Gambit DC, brought to you by the DC Lottery. 1-800-6